Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to try something a little different. Instead of doing a math video, I'm going to do a video on a puzzle, specifically a Sudoku type puzzle. Well, it's Sudoku, but it's a specific type of Sudoku. It's called Killer Sudoku. Here I have the app open for iPad. I usually play it on my iPhone, so here it may seem like I don't have a lot complete. Actually, I haven't played in a while, so I don't even have any of the month through November complete, but it's been a while, and I'd like to see how tough the one for November 20th is, which is today for me. So let's take a look and dive into it. I'm going to try my best to do this all. It's telling me how to do it because I just downloaded the iPad app. But I'm going to try to do this all in one take so you can see the thought process. Kind of interesting. And let's see here. So first off, if you don't know how Sudoku works, every column and every row has to contain no repeats, 1 through 9, and in each box as well. So there are 9 boxes, but you see there are like these dotted cages here. All of those cages will add, all the numbers in the cages will add up to the number indicated in the cage. So for example, let me see if I can show it here. This one, it's going to be a little hard to show you what I'm talking about. Actually, I can do this. Sorry. So this cage right here, all the numbers add to 16. So since we have 3 and 7, those add to 10. So these two will add to 6. Now, how can you add to 6? I'm going to try to use notes here. So to add to 6 with 2 numbers, you can't have 2 3s, notice. Well, for 2 reasons. You can't have 2 3s because you'd have double of the same digit in that, that row. Also, there's already a 3 in that row, so it can't be that. So it has to either be 2 and 4 or 1 and 5. But you see why it can't be 1 and 5? Because there's already a 5 in that row. So it has to be 2 and 4. And furthermore, there is already 2 in this first box over here. So that means this has to be a 4. See how that works? Very cool. So that has to be a 2, and we're going to move on really quickly with this one. I can already tell it's going to be pretty fast. So that's a 6 to add to 11, and then, well, that has to be an 8, so that's given. And then also in this row, there's a 1 missing, so there we go. To add to 15 with 9 and 4, that's already 13, so that's 2 more to add to 15. Here, okay, 3 and 7 add to 10, and missing in this box is 5. To add to 6 in that cage, you need a 1. And in this L cage here, we have 1 and 6 that adds to 9. We need to add to 16, so we need 7. Sorry, we need 9. Of course, it couldn't be 7 because there's a 7 in that row already. You see the 7 here. Okay, so you can see this is a pretty easy one, actually. I was expecting to get a kind of tough one, but let's just fill it out. So there's 8. Here, that's 3. For 7, that's 6. It kind of seems like for this particular puzzle I'm doing, notice the 9 here makes that an 8 because only 8 and 9 add to 7 for numbers 1 through 9. When you have 2 numbers in this cage here, for example. So it makes it seem like this extra restriction of these cages where the digits add to a number makes it seem like it's easier, but it could be harder. And in fact, generally it's easier when you have a lot of hints. So here there's a lot of hints, actually, a lot of given numbers in black. So I'm going to speed through this one. So we have 7, add to 13 with 4, you need 9, and then 5. I'm just going to do what I can, just kind of what I think is easy to see. I hope it's not too hard to follow. We need a 5 here to add to 7, a 6 here to add to 7 as well. And then here in this one, we need 8, 9, that's 17, plus 3 will be 20. And then missing in this row, we have 4 missing. Okay. To add to 13, we have 4 and 2, that's 6, so we need 7 more. And then we're missing 8 there, plus 4 is 12. Okay, so we're kind of getting to a point where it's slowing down, and it's going to be a little harder as we go along. It's not going to be too hard for this one, actually. I haven't even really used many Sudoku rules. I've just kind of used the cages, really. I've used a little bit of Sudoku, but not too much. Not many crazy techniques there. Okay, so you can see here it's starting to slow down a bit. So we have 3 and 4. I'm going to focus on this 10 for a second. So we could add to 10 with, well, you can't use 5 and 5 because they're in the same column. It can't be 6 and 4 because there's a 4 already. It can't be, so I'm doing this. Let me turn the notes on. So 6 and 4 like that. You hop around 5, notice. There's a 7 and 3. It can't be 7 and 3 because there's a 7 above. It can't be 8 and 2 because there's a 2 above. It has to be 1 and 9. And notice there's a 1 in, well, in this box here. So that means this has to be a 9. There we go. So that this is a 1. All right, awesome. Okay, what about here? So we're missing an 8, and I'm going to use Sudoku rules now, finally. So I have an 8 and a 6 missing in this column, and I can't see a way to work that out because we don't have any hints from those rows. And it's funny, like if we had an 8 here. Oh, see, that's one thing I kind of don't like about this. I totally forgot about that. So it is wrong. I have to turn off the settings here. So I don't want the settings to display auto check for mistakes. Well, I guess it's kind of late for that. Or maybe it's because I have that already there. Let me erase this. Let's see if it lets me. Yeah. No, that still doesn't let me take it off. Okay. Well, anyways, I knew it wasn't an 8 already, so I'm not cheating. I don't know if you consider it cheating or not, but it tells you if you put the wrong number. So I'm going to try to make that not happen. But the reason why I can tell it's not an 8 is because if it was an 8, I'll use notes here, then this would be a 6 to add to 14. But there's a 6 above that, so you can't have a repeat in that same column. So in fact, it has to be a 6. So this has to be a 6, making this an 8, making this an 8 here. Great. So for 13, we have a 4 here, so we need to add to 9 here. It can be 5 and 4. It can't be 6 and 3 because there's a 6, 3 up here. 7 and 2 is a way to go. And I can't tell the order actually because if you look in these columns, there's no 7s and 2s. So I'm just going to use my notes here and write 7, 2. Oh, sorry. 7, 2. It, I guess, told me which one was right because I didn't have notes on technically, but I'm going to ignore that. And notice if there's a 7 and 2 there, then in this box, there's missing a 3. So that has to be a 3. And this will work itself out pretty quickly because for 12, we have this cage here. It's like this kind of Tetris piece. So it's 1, 3, and 2. That's 6 plus 6 is 12. Okay. For 21, we have a 6 already, so those need to add to 15. I'm thinking either 9 and 6 or 7 and 8. It can't be 9 and 6 though because we have a 6. So 7 and 8 is the way to go. Well, because there's a 7 up here already, that guy has to be an 8, making this one a 7. Those add to 15. So notice I'm using these facts a lot that there's only a certain amount of ways to add to a number with digits 1 through 9. Like 15, you can only use 9 and 6, or 7 and 8, and that's it. And there are kind of ways of seeing this. I'm going to use this blank slot as notes to show you that. So if you're using 9 to add to 15, for example, then 9 plus 6 is 15, right? Or if you had an 8, then it's 7 and 8. But you see what's happening is you're kind of bouncing around 7.5 because that's the average, or not average, but it's a midpoint. It's a number, it's essentially half of 15. So you're going to be bouncing around that. So for example, here with 10, like for this one, half of 10 is 5, so it'd be 5 and 5. But if you bounce around 5, you can have 6 and 4, 7 and 3, 8 and 2, 1 and 9. Those are the pairs that add to 10. So you can kind of go from, I guess, by deduction, logical deduction. So it can't be 1 and 9 because there's a 1 in that row. It can't be 6 and 4 because there's a 6 and a 4 in that row. It can't be 8 and 2 because there's an 8 and 2 in that row, so it has to be 7, 3. It's a very, very nice technique for killer Sudoku. Now again, there's a 3 right here. So right above this guy has to be a 7, making this one a 3, and we're going to move on. In this column, we're missing only one number. I think that's 9. Okay. Okay, so we can just kind of figure this out right away just by looking at this column here. We have a, what is it, 4, no, 6 missing. And to add to 7, we need 1 more. There we go. To add to 5, it's either 2 and 3 or 1 and 4. But 1 and 4 is in this box already, so it's 2 and 3, but this column already has 2, so it's a 3 and a 2 like this. Good, and up here we have, I guess, a 5 is what we need. There, to add to 12 from 5, we need 7. And look, I didn't even notice this until now, but the number keys are kind of telling me what numbers I have filled out already. So I have all ones and all threes and all sixes taken care of, which is really nice. I think there's a setting to remove that for additional kind of challenge, if you will. I noticed my notes here, the 2 went away, or the 7 went away, I should say, and the 2 remain because it says it knows there's a 7 there. And there's a setting to remove that as well, but I kind of like that. I don't know if you consider that cheating or not, but oh, sorry. Oh, game over. Yeah, it was a 2 only, and I used all 3 mistakes, so I have a game over. So I can do a second chance to watch the video, or I can restart or close. So just to continue the video, I'm going to watch this video, but I'm going to cut it out. Okay, that was really bad, so sorry about that. I had to watch an ad, I guess, but I'm not using that time to think or anything. So you're seeing just all of my thoughts in one take. But yes, that should have been a 2. That was my mistake. In the notes, there was a 2 only left. Try to make no more mistakes now. 7, and in this column, there's only 5 left. Good. And now we're like super close to being done. So let's look at this column here. We're missing 2 and I guess 2 and 4. So there can't be a 2 here because of this 2 below. So that's a 4, making this a 2. Let's see, to add to 14, that's going to be 8. To add to 22, 96 is 15 plus 2 is 17. 17 plus 5 is 22, so there's 5 there. And now we're just done by the column. So if you look at the column here, we're missing a 9 in this one, we're missing a 7 in this one, and a 4 in that one. And there we go. That was our killer Sudoku problem. And that was about 10 minutes and 33 seconds. So not too bad, I guess, but that was a pretty simple one. So that's fine. Now caught what I was expecting. I wanted to do something a little more challenging. I don't want this video to be super long, so I'm going to post this video only with this problem. I will post another video where I do a more challenging one. I expect that to maybe be in the realm of 30 minutes to an hour. So if you like this and you want to see more Sudoku videos, that'd be interesting. So maybe let me know in the comments. Also, I have in mind to maybe do some other types of puzzles. There's one that comes to mind called I believe it's called Yajlin. Yajlin? It's a Japanese game. It's very similar to Sudoku. Very cool, and I think I'll maybe do a video of that. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed, and let me know in the comments if you like this so I can do more videos like this. Okay.